Hey guys, this is Paul Bray, and today I'm going to be going over the basics of particle systems in Blender 2.45 beta. So let's just go ahead and get over to Blender and begin. Particle systems can be found when you're adding them in this panel right over here where it says particles. They can be used for rain, fireworks, just spilling objects, anything, but it's mainly just a good fluid or water droplet simulation without actually having to do a real fluid simulation, which can be complicated and pretty costly when it comes to rendering it. So you need to have an object to be the emitter of the particles. So for right now, we're just going to use this cube. You can use a plane as well, as some people prefer to do that for different circumstances. But we're just going to go ahead and start out with this cube that we have here. And then we're going to go back over to the particle systems here and go ahead and add a particle system. So now you can see that we have all of this here. And if we were going to go ahead and play through the animation really quick, you can see that droplets are forming and that it's raining, or that it looks like it's raining. But see, then it ends. It ends around right here. And if we look over here, you can see that it's set to end at 200. If we extend it past 200 and then go back and look at it, you can see that it's still raining even right here. So there we go. The lifetime, you can see that right now it's stopping. It's stopping right around here. So if we extended the lifetime, let's see what happens. And it gets way longer. We more than doubled the falling of the rain. If we shortened it to about 25, start over, you can see that it's way shorter. And again, if you want to have already started up by the time your animation starts, because right now you can see that it just starts forming after the first frame. See, it's only now just forming. But if we wanted to go ahead and start it before then, we can actually set it to way before our start time. So when we do go to play it, it's already started raining. So we're going to go ahead and set that back to, actually let's do -10. Okay, so right now, if we were to render it, we'd have this. Now, what would normally happen if you wanted to use rain in the scene is we just move it upwards. Get it start raining again. And then now you don't see the cube, but we have these weird orb-like figures. So what we can do is, in object mode, add a new UV sphere. We're going to make a droplet type particle, because right now they're just little halos. And over here, if this isn't open, you want to press T and get this pane open, the UV sphere. If we were to render it like this right now, because what we're going to do is parent this object to these little objects and make them all little droplets. So if we were to go ahead and do that and then render it, it would be extremely pricey and costly, because it would be rendering each of these 32 segments for these thousands of little dots that we have. Well, it's about 100 right now. So what we want to do is just take it down to about 6 and 6. And maybe just make it look a little more like a droplet. Let's go into edit mode. Maybe just point the top a little bit more so it looks a little more like a rain droplet. So that's our little droplet object that we're going to use, and we can just move it out of the camera's range. And then go back over here to our cube. And if you scroll down, let's close all of this. This, well, we might go into later, but that's just certain things about when it does start emitting. Under the render option, the emitter checked, under option in duplicate object, we want to click sphere. And now if we zoom in, you can see that all of these little spheres have been changed into it. But it's not lining up exactly. So let's see maybe if we were to rotate this on the y-axis. You can see that they're changing now. That they're rotating as well. Now they're pointing down, so we don't want that. We want them to point up. And now we rotated them up by rotating this. See, now they're pointing up. Okay. So let's just go ahead and see what happens now. Look at that. Now we have rain. It looks more like rain, but let's extend the lifetime in this cube and the amount and the lifetime, and then a little randomness, which will just change things up. Let's go to the beginning, press play, and look, now we have a lot more particles, and let's see if we rendered it. Now it looks like little bits of rain. We can actually go ahead and maybe try and change the color. I wouldn't recommend doing this for a picture, but just to simply change the color, you can just go to the materials of the cube, which will change the color of the emitter. And just go ahead and, looks like it already has a texture, so just change it to like a bluish color. And then a little bit of transparency if we can get it. And now, if we were to render it, hopefully, oh well, it doesn't seem to be changing it yet. But generally, the particle system will change. Let's see if we change up this. No. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and render a 2-second thing to see how it looks. Now you can see the rain starting to drop. And now it looks like the rain is falling. So that is an extremely basic overlook of how to use particle systems for the purpose of rain and other fluid. You can also use it for hair, which is really useful. As we saw right here, the type, we could change it to hair, and then you can see that we have this really weird looking thing, since it's still paired to the droplet object, so that's why the hair looks so weird. But that's about it for the particle emitter system. Thanks for joining me today.